Hey, welcome to Beyond Film School, where I tell you all about the film industry. I'm Amber, and in this video, we are talking about the top 5 horrid mistakes of assistant directors. So I'm talking about assistant directors, and if you don't exactly know what that is, I encourage you to check out my video, What's a First Assistant Director, and all the other videos I've made on all the other assistant directors that are out there. There's a whole playlist for you. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we gotta talk about some of the mistakes that assistant directors make. So this is for my aspiring assistant directors out there, the aspiring ADs that are watching this video. If you don't know, I am an assistant director. I've mainly been a first AD, I've been a second many times, I've been a second, and I've sometimes been the only AD on certain projects. And with all of that, I have definitely made some mistakes as an assistant director. And with every project, I try to be a little bit better of an AD. I've also learned a lot from other assistant directors I've been able to work with. Some that I want to mirror and be just like, and some other ones that I know that I don't want to be like. So with all of that experience crammed into one video, I'm really hoping that I can help some of the aspiring ADs out there. Aww. Okay, so these aren't in any particular order, but I am starting with a pretty big one. Not being empathetic, enough or at all. Assistant directors are the leaders of the set. And they're the pushers, and we want to make sure we have everything we need and that we get everything on time. And you notice within that there is no mention of feelings in there. But you have to make room for them. You're working with people and you can't be a robot on set. Life on set is complicated, it is stressful, people are tired, so you have to make a point to check in with how people feel and think about each person's situation. I didn't say it was easy, and this is definitely a challenge for me. Sometimes all I want is for everyone to just suck it up and work, but I know it doesn't work that way. Great leaders are empathetic, and great assistant directors are also empathetic. For my next mistake, we're going to be talking about being argumentative and having a rigid stance on things. As an assistant director, there are going to be so many things that are going to get in your way of having a successfully completed day. The last thing you need is to be in arguments with anyone on set, whether that's the director of photography, producers, your own team. Anyone, avoid it. Assistant directors push everyone to the finish line that is wrap. And we have to pivot, problem solve, adjust, compromise with what the day throws at us. As an AD, you are taking a crazy idea of the director, you're bringing that to the crew, so hopefully you can practically execute the director's vision, with hopefully not pissing anybody off in the process. There's no room for arguments in there. Except for safety, I will argue to the end of days if it has to do with safety.
You're damn right.
Safety first. 3 is a combo deal dealing with respect. With ADs being in a high position of authority, it is a huge mistake to try and demand respect from people.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
When you try to demand respect, it makes you look like a damn fool. No one likes it, and it makes you look desperate. The other side of this respect combo is disrespecting your team, that's mainly the PAs, and everyone you're working with. Okay, let's be honest, and I'm pretty sure we can all 100% agree on this. No one likes an asshole. And it is 100% possible to be an assistant director and not be an asshole. I'm really tired of that, that stereotype that in order to be an AD, you have to be an asshole. Nope. Wrong. Why be rude? Why be rude, offensive, sarcastic, arrogant, belittling, humiliating? And I've actually worked with a bunch of ADs who have done all those things, who've been like that. There's definitely no need for it. You should not be this way, especially to your team of PAs, because they do not get paid enough for that bullshit. This next one, I know ADs will debate this with me till the end of time. A huge mistake of ADs is not getting to know the crew, the people they're working with, and the people on their team. This one ties into the first one I mentioned a little bit because you can't really empathize with anybody if you don't know anything about them. I know there are people out there that want to go to set, get the job done, and then go home. But who the hell wants that? That is no fun. That is no fun for me, at least. We're not coding a damn computer program on set. We're making movies, we're making TV shows about great stories that are about people. And to make these great stories of people involves a ton of people. Work on your people skills, folks, because you're gonna get more job offers because of it. And your time on set will definitely be more enjoyable. And at the very least, just learn people's names. That's like the bare minimum of getting to know certain things about people. Just learn their names. It goes a very long way. This next one is probably a little deep, maybe a little bit more complex, but we're talking about ADs that are insecure. An insecure assistant director is a recipe for disaster on set, man. It is bad news bears. Bad news bears when you have an assistant director leading a team on a film set and they're insecure. There is no room for uncertainty, feelings of inadequacy, your anxieties, worries about you not being good enough. There is no room for that. No one on a film set has time for a hurt ego, especially the hurt ego of an assistant director. Remember, you keep things going. You make things happen. You're the leader of the crew. And no one wants to follow someone that's not sure of themselves. When assistant directors are insecure, people and the crew start to doubt you. And when that happens, well, then that's when chaos ensues on set. Nothing will go smoothly, everything will be disorganized, no one's gonna listen to you, and it's just gonna be a very hot mess. It is extremely hard to hide when you're feeling insecure. But remember this, if you just feel a little bit insecure and you're that AD on set, remember someone hired you to be that AD. Someone believed in you. So you should believe in you too. Just do your best, and when you get home, that's when you can release all the things that you can't really release on set. That's when you get all the stuff, you let it go, and then you come in the next day starting fresh. I know I said top 5, but I had to talk about this, and it's dealing with having an us versus them mentality as the assistant director. Having this mentality on a film set is super obnoxious, but also there's no hiding it. You can't really hide when you have that mentality of being us versus them. And what do I mean by an us versus them? I mean the AD department, the assistant director department versus all the other departments, like ADs versus camera, ADs versus electric, or the AD department versus wardrobe, hair and makeup. You cannot run a smooth set when it's going to be this competitiveness between departments. Everyone should be working together to make things happen. And when ADs have this mentality, it is the worst. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I talk about how many people it takes to get something done, to finish a movie, to make a TV show. It takes a ton of people. One of my favorite quotes from James McAvoy, and I'm hoping I get this right because I love it so much, is filmmaking is a miracle of collaboration. If we can't come together and we can't get along, then it's gonna be, it's gonna be horrible. It just makes filmmaking feel so shitty. I have definitely worked with assistant directors that have had this mentality, and everyone hated them. Everyone on the crew hated them, and I'm always surprised at the fact that they keep getting hired. I know, like, people are talking about the bottom line and they want people to get it done, but people don't like working with this team of ADs. A quote that I remember from one of the ADs was just like, oh, let wardrobe sync themselves. I'm like, why can't we help? Like, we gotta be able to help other departments. That's part of our job. You know, I cannot get on board with the us versus them mentality. And if you're an AD and you're thinking like that, I don't know. I feel like the spirit of filmmaking just is not, it's not within you. Like, then why are you doing this, you know? So not only did I call this video top 5 and make 6 mistakes, but I also added a bonus one. Now the bonus one, it's not really a mistake, but I just wish more assistant directors would do more of this, and it's to give feedback. You know, give feedback to their team, because I think that a lot of great set PAs, or a lot of set PAs that are just, they want to be better, they're just so hungry to try and get better and know what to do, you know, the right way, how to do things. And I just really, if you're an assistant director, give feedback, and not like humiliating feedback in front of the whole crew on channel 1 on the walkie, but like constructive feedback. It just goes so far in like new people on set. It just really does. I just wish ADs did a little bit more of that. When you give feedback and good feedback and constructive feedback, like, your team just ends up being a little bit happier. They respect you a little bit more. It just goes over a lot better on set with your team. So those were my top mistakes of assistant directors, and I definitely had a few more that I could have put on the list, but we would have been here for like probably 45 minutes, but close to the top were like ADs that yell, have no patience, some ADs that take themselves too seriously, or they're too quiet, they're not communicative enough, you know, ADs that don't give people a chance, and also ADs that like to blame others or throw PAs under the bus for their mistakes. That, I probably should have had something on that one, because that's a big one that I see a lot and it really makes me mad. Please let me know in the comments which mistake maybe you've encountered on set or maybe been on the receiving end of. I really hope this was helpful for the aspiring ADs, the aspiring assistant directors out there. And if it was, hit that like button, and while you're at it, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all the videos I make on the film industry. And if you would like more film career resources, please visit my website, beyondfilmschool.com. So thank you for watching, and that is it for now, and I shall see you next time.